Hello, everybody. Welcome to Girl Talk. I am so excited tonight to be here. I have a very special guest on. This person is very near and dear to my heart. I want to introduce you to, she is an author, a blogger, and entrepreneur. And she wears like many hats. She is one of my very best friends. And I wanted to bring this special guest on. Let me introduce you to Cynthia L. Knight. Cindy, welcome to Girl Talk.
Thank you so much, Maya. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to have you on the show tonight. Because you are so phenomenal and you're so influential, and you have had a very large impact on my business. You probably don't even realize it. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. So I wanted to bring you on just because you have so much going on. And if for those of you that are new to Girl Talk, this show is really so that you can learn about other small businesses, learn a little bit more about MJB Cosmetic Consulting, but also learn about other small businesses. So if you're that person that likes to support small business owners, I'm using this platform as a way or a media to share information about other businesses that are out there. And if something speaks to you through one of these shows, I hope that it was beneficial to you. Mm-hmm. And so I brought Cindy on because she has some amazing things going on in her businesses, but she's also been a powerful influence in my business. And so, Cindy, why don't you just introduce yourself first before we get into like you've influenced MJB, and tell everybody a little bit about your company, Mosaic Consortium Group.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that great introduction, Maya. But before I tell everybody about me, one, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for using your platform to let me showcase some of my stuff. And I also wanted to just say, as your friend, and I call you like one of my lifelong best friends, I would just like to say, I'm so proud of you and everything that you have done with your business. You have made the Beauty Babes like a real comfortable, safe space for women to, share, learn about makeup, just a support system outside of the business, because you have created a platform where you really care about people, and it shows in everything that you do. So I just really appreciate you. I thank you. And I'm just so extremely proud of what you've done so far. But a little bit about me. I am the CEO and owner of Mosaic Consortium Group. It's called a group because it's the parent company to all of my endeavors. And I am a publisher. I am now the owner of a spice business. My heart's desire is to get into screenplays. So I have a production company. I have my author pages because I write books. So, I dibble and dabble in quite a few different things. So I've housed it all under my company name of Mosaic Consortium Group.
Now I have been your friend. Okay, we're not going to count the years, but since 8th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it 7th grade or 8th grade?
It was 7th grade.
7th grade. I have been your friend since 7th grade. And I had never knew you wanted to get into playwriting.
Mm-hmm. Well, for movies, screenplays.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So see, I'm still learning about you. So this is amazing. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, you touched on something as you opened up, and thank you for just all of your words of encouragement. And wow, you spoke to like how personal the business is for me. Mm-hmm. And and tonight, the topic for the show tonight is about the MJB culture. And that's one of the things um, that I kind of wanted to just talk on, because I've been a member of MJB Home of the Beauty Bays, which is my private Facebook group, for those of you that don't know, since 2019. So you've been following it for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that happens in my business is that I end up developing relationships with people, and so it's not, for me, it's not just business. It is business, but there's also that people component. And I've said on a couple other shows, I have gained so many friendships as a result of doing this business.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, working with people's faces is personal. When somebody allows you into that space in their life,
Mm-hmm.
that's them being vulnerable with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't take that lightly. And
And it shows.
and I when I'm talking to people, I'm in before them, a lot of times people will share the personal stories with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's no longer business, it's all personal at that point, because people come and they have divulged, personal stories. People are going through a lot of different things. And
Yes,
sometimes people don't even have anybody to talk to. And
exactly.
MJB, I guess, has become a safe place for women. And so I want it to be that safe place. And that actually leads me into how you have had a big influence on the MJB culture.
Okay.
Because you invited me, because by no means did I ever think that I would be a published author, but you invited me to be a co-writer on a book.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to ask you, just share with everybody a little bit about the project that you invited me in on, and I'm going to talk about how that's influenced the business.
Okay, so I am a person of faith, and COVID impacted people in a variety of different ways. And in my professional life, I'm the head of a HR office for the state. So I had a lot of people scared, confused, um, and not really knowing what to do, but somewhere instinctually, and I think, this is just our God innate spirit, people were crying out for prayer, and they didn't know that that was what they were crying out for, and they didn't know how to articulate their needs. And so, because I'm a person of faith, even though it was, on my professional job, people were saying, pray for me, pray for me. Can you pray for me? And it's because they didn't have the words. And people, besides COVID, life was lifing for
That's right.
everybody.
That's right.
And so, in my prayer time and in my devotional time, God laid it on my heart to give people the prayers. Like, if you pray every day, you know what you say. And, the people who go to church on the regular or whatnot, they're used to praying. So I reached out, and one of my other lifelong best friends, she's an intercessor, which means that she's a person who prays all the time. So I was talking it over with her, and it just God laid it on my heart to make a prayer book, and it's called If My People: Prayers for Healing, Hope, and Restoration. And that's what people were dealing with at the time. And I didn't want to take on this endeavor, by myself. So I invited everyone that I knew that could pray. And you are one of those people, Maya. So I reached out to you. And then I also reached out to folks who were just beginning their journeys with God. So, it's not just the, you know, the experienced people, but also the people who are just coming to Christ and saying, let me hear your prayers. And so in hopes to be able to put something in people's hands when they're in trouble. So maybe, our prayers might start them to having the conversation with God, because all prayer is a conversation with God, but people make it more complicated than what it needs to be. So
Right.
I thought if they could see a variety of people and how they speak to God, it would initiate their conversations with God. So I didn't mean to take up all the time, but
No, no, no,
that's
no,
what
no.
that's what the book is called. I have a copy of it here, but I think it's going to show up backwards. But it's
That's
called
okay.
If My
Actually, it's looking
People.
pretty good to me.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how the book fits into my business, because when people come to me and share some of their life situations, a lot of times we end up in prayer, at a
Mm-hmm.
place of prayer. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've prayed with many of my clients. Um, you know, just being able to be there to encourage people in the Lord and to share the word of God with somebody else. Because the word it strengthens you,
Mm-hmm.
encourages you, and it guides you. So that is very commonplace in my
Mm-hmm.
business. And so when I opened the book, because now I really believe that God really has a serious sense of humor, serious, because one, I'm not a reader, and I'm totally not a writer. And to be invited on a project where for to create something that people would read, which I never would do. Like, I don't read books at all,
Mm-hmm.
seriously. Like, the only book I would probably read is the Bible. Okay, so I think this is hilarious. And then for me to be like a published author in a book, I'm like, that is hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
um but but needless to say, I said all of that. What did I say all that to say? I done lost my train of thought in all of that. But he does. He has a sense of humor.
Yes,
But
he
I
does.
did read that book. Once it was printed and we got our copies, I read the book and I could not put it down. It was amazing. How many authors were on that book? 25?
Probably. I don't know off the top of my head, but it was at least that, I believe. 20, let's just say 20.
About 20.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. I literally sat down and read that book from cover to cover
Mm-hmm.
without stopping. I did not stop. I just went from prayer to prayer to prayer to prayer. And it was amazing. Um, and if there are any of my clients that have purchased the book, if you're watching, please drop a comment. We would love to hear from you. Get your feedback if you're on. I know we got some viewers. Please feel free to ask questions or drop comments as you're watching. Please share your name so that we can address you appropriately. But I had a few of my clients, people who purchased the book, they said that it was beneficial to them. It helped them. And they were all at different people, different ones were at different walks along their journeys.
Mm-hmm.
And so it meant different things to different people. I had people to ask me for more copies so that they can share it and give it as gifts. So it has really been influential in my business. And
Oh,
so
good.
I have it on the shelf in the studio, my beauty studio. So when people come in, if they would like to purchase the book, it is available for them. So that is one way. And I don't know if I've ever shared all that with you before. I was kind of
Mm-mm.
saving it for this show.
Yeah, you're shocking me. So, but I'm glad to hear it, because that's what I wanted it to be, is something that people could use as a resource. And actually, um, because I was in the thick of putting it together, when it was all done, I had seen the prayers and have read them over, because we're looking for like mistakes and typos and all of that. But I actually have found myself in some different seasons, and go to the book, and I'm very encouraged.
Yes.
Forgot about that prayer and would open it up to something that spoke right to the situation. So, God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I am grateful for you following what you felt you were being led to do. I believe it really has had an impact, a positive impact in people's lives. So
Thank
um
you.
and I was honored to be invited. Truly, 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 truly. Um I don't take it lightly at all. I labored over that because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't
Well,
write.
I prayed about who to ask. I felt like it was an assignment, and I didn't want to mess up, what God had charged me with. And he laid you on my heart. So, you know, and plus, we've had many conversations, and you've encouraged me and prayed for me. So, you know, it was a
We have
no-brainer.
we have someone watching. Hello, Phil. Thank you for your comments. He said God is wonderful. Yes, He is wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. Now, you have a new book coming up, right?
Yes, I do. Yes,
So
I do.
please tell us a little bit about your new book.
Okay, so this new book is really straight from God as an assignment, because I was actually working on two other books and was interrupted with this book. And so much so to the point that I was like, is this really God? Because, he doesn't change his mind or anything. But he gave me the title and the content. And I'm recuperating from surgery that I had to have unexpectedly in November. And the day before Thanksgiving, actually, I had the surgery the day before Thanksgiving. And I'm still, in the recuperation phase right now. But I wrote the book since I've been recovering. So basically, 2 weeks after the surgery is when I started. And it's in production now. And it's called The Book of Urgency. And it is a book with things that God told me to pass on. So it's not really a creation of mine, but more spirit led revelations and information that He wanted to pass on. But I would say, well, I'm not going to give it away because I want people to read it, but it is packed with revelations that God gave me to pass on to other people, and they're urgent in nature. So that book should be coming out by hopefully by May. We're looking at a production date of it being able to be out to the public by May.
Okay. So when it is released, right? Do you have plans for the release? Like, are you gonna have like release party or
We're
anything?
getting all that together. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to do this one. So I don't know if I'm tying it with the other two, which are almost complete, or if I'm going to let it stand alone. But we're trying to figure that out. But the initial thoughts for me is to have like a virtual launch, and then when the weather breaks, have an actual physical launch. For the party, I would ask everybody. I'm definitely having like an Amazon sale day, where it's going to be at a super, super, super discounted rate. And I would ask everybody if they could just purchase the ebook on that particular date, which will be coming out on social media. That would help me out a great deal.
Okay, awesome. And if you want, you can come back to the little private group, and we can share and talk to the ladies in there, and let them know when the book comes out. Uh-oh.
What happened?
What happened? Okay, you're back. You're back.
Okay,
You're
I'm
back.
back. I'm back.
Okay, and then for those
Technical
of you that are
difficulties.
watching, if you want to check out any of Cindy's books, I'm going to just pop up. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit. Those are her websites. And then we're going to get into another endeavor. She doesn't just engage in writing and books and publishing. She also has another big business venture, which really I'm excited to talk about, but it was really got me. It was the reason that I offered the interview, because this blew my mind, and I was like, "Girl, you got to come on, Girl Talk. Tell everybody about your new venture."
All right, so my new venture, my new baby, and I think it's more dear to my heart than, well, I'll say it's on equal footing as my books, is called CC Spices. And
Yes.
how it is a spice company. I mean, that's basically, I have all different custom spices available for people. For it's for the home cook, but the home cook that likes flavor. I love to cook. I've been cooking my entire life. And so I started with macaroni and cheese because we all put our, for the people who season, let me say
Here
that,
we
the
go.
people
Okay.
who season their macaroni and cheese, and I'm talking baked macaroni and cheese, but it can be used also in, like your box mixes like Velveeta, or your cups, your macaroni cups. But for the people who bake macaroni and cheese, that on the holidays, people do not play. Barbecues, baby showers, Thanksgiving, Christmas, people do not play about the mac and cheese. Don't mess up the mac and cheese. Don't bring the wrong stuff. Don't do nothing. Don't change the recipe for the holidays for the mac and cheese. So I'm, now that some of the matriarchs of my family have passed on, I am the person who makes the macaroni and cheese for these events in my family. So what I do, because I have a variety of spices, is I've always put them in a bottle. My daughter was talking to me and she was like, you should just go ahead and put your stuff out there. Like, why are you, like sitting on this? And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, well, yeah, why am I? Let's try it. What's the worst thing that could happen? So I got my macaroni and cheese spice, and I have 5 others that's coming out um probably in the next 2 months. The surgery's delaying everything, so that happened right at the launch of CC Spices. But God has a plan. We're working through it. But yeah, I'm real excited about CC's. So we
Okay.
have the mac and cheese spice out now. It's available for everybody. And I've been wanting people to, give me feedback about what they think. But in terms of the ingredients, we all use the same thing. It's just all in one bottle now.
So here's the thing. We got Phil on here. Phil is watching, and you were talking about, the mac and cheese, it's got to be on point. He was like, facts. So
Thank
he's
you,
totally
Phil.
with us. He's totally with us on this tonight. What I want to say is, okay, I saw the launch of CC's mac and cheese spices just on like a post, right? Like on Facebook or something. And because I know you personally, and I've enjoyed your cooking because you are one of the best cooks I know. I was
Thank
like,
you.
okay, I got to buy this. First of all, how in the world does one how do you start a spice company? I was just like blown away. You like blew my mind. I was like, who does that?
I don't know. It didn't seem like that big of a deal until I got in it. It is a lot to it. So I don't want to play it down, but it didn't seem that way. So I jumped 2 feet in. So I was like, oh, okay, I know what it tastes like. So I just have to find somebody to distribute it. And then I ran into, like cottage laws, like you can't make spices in your well, you can, but you can only sell a certain quantity. And then, the FDA, the health department, all that stuff.
Yes.
And I
That's
didn't
what
feel
I'm
like,
saying. Who wants to take that on?
right.
Look at you.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I went looking for a distributor. So I basically entered into a non-disclosure agreement and with a distribution company, and they make my spices in their spice company.
Okay.
And they bottle it. So, but that was an ordeal to find the right
I cannot
distribution.
imagine. You blew my mind. And now I'm gonna give my review of
Oh,
Cindy's mac and cheese spice.
okay.
So everybody, Cindy has no clue what I'm gonna say because I would not give her any feedback on what I thought of this spice. Because the first thing was, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble when I say this, because you know how people feel about their mac and cheese. But I was not a person, I did not think that put seasoning in their mac and cheese. So I was like, what are you talking about? Seasons for your mac and cheese. But because I know you as a cook, I trusted you. And I was blown away that you started a spice company. So I just went on, I found my little card and I went on to the site and I bought me some CC's mac and cheese spice. I don't know if y'all can see this bottle. And I had in my mind like what it might taste like.
Mm-hmm.
But my initial thought was the one that I make that is like the family, go to. Like I wasn't going to tamper with that recipe. I was like, I can't test it out in there.
Right.
But I wanted to try it in like instant mac and cheese or, like your box mac and cheese. And I was like, can I dock it up so that it is a much more flavorful and a better experience? So that's what I did. I tested that out on my family, docked it up a box, and you gave me some really good instructions so that I wouldn't over season my mac and cheese. So I want you to share that tip with people who are watching in case they decide they want to try it out.
Okay. Thank you for even bringing that up because that slipped my mind. Yes. Anybody who is purchasing CC's mac and cheese, think of it as concentrated. You do not want to use this. Like I've seen a commercial on TV, the lady's like pouring the ranch seasoning over her mac and cheese. That is not what you do with CC's. This is for cooking. So you want to start small, like a teaspoon or less, and then taste it and keep flavoring up. Please do not dump a whole lot because you will mess up your mac and cheese. It is strong and it has a bite to it. So start small and then taste and then build up to what is your liking. Now, like I said, I'm not going to give away my recipe, but for cooks, like the home cooks who do the macaroni and cheese, it's all the ingredients that we all use the same stuff. I went on TikTok and I was watching all the videos of people talking about their holiday mac and cheese. We all use the same ingredients. So you know what you use and don't just start small. Just start small and then build up and then you'll be good. You won't have any problems.
Well,
it'll
I'm going to tell you,
right.
it really did. What I had in my mind as to what it was going to taste like is what it tasted like.
Okay,
and
good.
That blew me away.
Good.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Because I was thinking like I was going to need to add like garnishing and maybe a little parsley or a little this at the end of it. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This like totally turned out the way I was thinking.
I'm glad.
And guess what? The boys tore it up. Marky has me making that mac and cheese because I went and I think I got because I did a creamy box mac and cheese. I think I did like the Velveeta or something like that. One of those. I think like the 4 cheese. And I put it in there. And you're right. Like, I think initially you told me don't use more than like a 1/4 teaspoon.
Right. Especially for the box mixes.
And it really was like perfect for that particular dish. I only made like 1 box. So whatever that size is, 1/4 of a teaspoon was perfect for that dish. I did cook it on the stove, but then I baked it afterwards. And man, my boys, I got 2 boys. I got a husband and 1 son at home right now, and they tore it up.
Oh, good.
And I even got some other mac and cheese that is like it's like this diet food. And so I'm gonna do a shout out to Sharice Hall and all y'all that know Sharice Hall. Y'all know what that diet food is. Y'all need some CCs because it will knock it up. I'm telling you. And then once you taste it, if you're a person that just likes to season by sight, you'll know how much to put in there, but you got to do it by the measurement initially the first time. That would be my recommendation.
Start small and then build up to your taste level. Exactly. You're right. You'll be able to do it by sight after you know how it tastes. And CC's also, it's not something that you can put in your hand and then taste it. Like if you were baking a cake, you wouldn't taste a raw egg. So, but you need an egg to make cakes. That's how CC's mac and cheese seasoning is. It's not necessarily going to taste the best when you taste it, but it makes your mac and cheese taste fantastic.
Woo! Thumbs up.
Thank you.
So I'm excited about the next fight. How many more did you say are coming out now?
5.
You got 5 more coming out.
Yeah, and the one that I'm really, really excited about is the herbed salt. It is so good. It's coming in a grinder bottle. I'm so excited about it. Once the herbs get crushed with the sea salt.
You talk about fresh spices.
Oh yeah, you can put it on salmon, chicken, seafood. It goes with everything. I'm so excited about it, and that should be coming out relatively soon. As soon as I can get the bottles from the distributor, it's in production right now, so I'm hoping to have it within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it'll be on the website as soon as I have it. But I will have samples if people want to purchase a sample. And we're going to be showing up in pop-up shops in probably April, May, June, July. I'll be doing pop-up shops. So that would be an opportunity for you to taste it as well.
You have a private Facebook group for your CC Spices yet?
No, I don't, but I do have we're calling my groups the Spice Syndicate. So
yes.
if you go to CC's website and you sign up with the email group, you'll get 10% off your first purchase. And then you'll be eligible for, I think I'm going to do like the first 25 people who sign up. In addition to, because I already have Spice Syndicate people now, but I'll be sending you free samples when I release the new spices, so you'll get to taste them first.
Oh my gosh. And guess what?
What?
One of our closest childhood friends just joined the broadcast. I'm going to give a shout out to Kenny Abrams. Kenny,
hey, Kenny!
We love you, man. Thanks for tuning in.
I haven't seen you in a minute, but Kenny's doing great things out in Towson.
Oh my gosh. And Kenny says, I have to purchase some CC Spices.
Yes.
So with that being said, I'm going to actually show everybody there is a website. So if you're interested in checking out CC Spices, hang tight. I'm going to share the screen with you. And I think it's this one. Here comes, you guys. It is this web address right here, spices.com, and that's what the website looks like. You can go right on there
and also .shop. You can do ccspices.com or .shop, and either one will work for you.
Okay, that is perfect. So and if you're interested in any of Cindy's books, I'm gonna also show you that website as well. And you can kind of keep your eye open for when the new releases come out. So let's try this one. So there's that website, and then that is going to be cynthialknight.com. Okay, so I've got them scroll across the screen here. Excuse me, so that you guys can see. I hope if you need to write it down, you write it down. But I'm also, after these videos post, I'm going to drop the links beneath the video. So if you're looking for it later, it will be a clickable version there. So just wanted to show you those. Let me stop sharing with that. And then we're about to wrap this thing up. I usually try to make this show last about 20-30 minutes. over. Every show seems to get longer and longer.
Yes, this was 2 minutes longer.
That just means that the guests are getting better and better. I don't know. So that being said, we're going to wrap it up. Before I leave, though, I'm just going to ask, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy spending time with us, please like this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. I would totally appreciate that. And I'm going to be bringing more content like this. And then I have 2 other shows that I'm working on. So keep your eye peeled for more shows from me coming to my channel. So there's going to be one if you're a small business owner. I'm going to be doing some business education on there. And then also for my ladies that enjoy their cosmetics and they want to learn more about cosmetics, I have the show Love the Skin You're In. And that's where I provide a lot of cosmetic education. So please tune in to my channel there. And so please like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Also please share this video if you enjoyed it. I know we had people hanging here for the whole show, so I'm totally pumped up. So please share this video to your page or with your friends. Help us get the word out so other people can learn about some of the small businesses that are out there. Thank you so much for joining. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next month.
All right, thank you, Maya.
Thank you, Cindy.